Also, we can create oceans from presets. So if you go to Effects tab, to the Effects menu set, here under the tab Bifrost Fluids, we can take here in the Bifrost folder, we can see some examples. So we can see already made oceans. So let's choose Deep Ocean. Just click twice on the icon. So it's called Content Browser. So here we have our ocean. So if we play, it's like a bug, it disappears. So I've already checked at forums but couldn't find any answer. So let's create a new scene, then create our ocean and get our example again here in the content browser. Just don't play and simply create a camera. Then we can move our camera slightly up. We may rotate a little bit. If you go to the camera view and render, if we render the current frame, we won't see anything because we don't have any light. We can see only small sparkles, so we create some light. Go to Arnold, create light, select Sky Dome light. It's under the Arnold tab, Sky Dome light, and if we render, we can see our ocean, but it's very bleak, no contrast. We might choose let's go and select. We go to the attribute editor and see attributes. We just click here, it switches from channel box to the attributes. So here we have attributes tab. We have attributes here, color, and we use file. There are some HDRI images. They are pre-installed in any version of Maya. So we go to My Computer, to the C drive, and then go to Program Files, and go to Autodesk and to your version of Maya. In my case it's 2025. On Autodesk, Maya 2025, assets. not assets, sorry. We go to presets and then we go to assets, and here we have LBL folder. It's just the abbreviation for image based lighting, so we just click here. We have different files, different HDRI images. They're not XR. Oh, actually they are XR. We may choose exterior, neutral, whatever. Just take this exterior color one. And then we can see our ocean. It's still not very good. I've chosen this HDRI image. You can download this image from this website. The link is in the description below. So here you can download this file from this website. Here's the link. You can download this HDRI image. I've chosen this one, the blue sky with the ocean. And here select open, and after we render our frame we have our ocean. It looks a little bit glossy, gloss and sparkling, shining, but the contrast is high, at least. In my case, I didn't click the play button. I've just rendered this sequence. So we go to display, to render settings, and here we choose XR, number extension, frame range. Then we specify 400 frames as it is in this scene, and camera 1, renderable camera 1. Then we go to the render menu set and we select render and go to render sequence, and we have the current camera 1, and we specify our file location, and the folder just, well, we can choose any folder. I've selected this folder. Documents, Maya, projects in my case, default images. Don't forget to name your scene, to save your scene and name your file. Ocean, and we specify our location, our file location, or our sequence of files. Images, and then we can create folder ocean. You can name it ocean, whatever, ocean by frost, and then we render our sequence. Well, it depends on your PC configuration. Depending on your PC configuration, it took me maybe 5 or 6 hours. Again, it depends on the number of processors, your graphics cards. When our rendering is completed, we may preview our sequence. I've chosen After Effects for previewing our sequence, our rendered sequence. I've just created a new composition. By default, it's 960 by 540. And then here is our sequence, RXR, EXR sequence. Just click and drag our sequence to the composition timeline or to the composition view. Just move it. It's a little bit bleak again. And it's very glossy. So let's see, we select color correction and we choose color balance. Okay, we have more contrast. So this is out of the box ocean in Maya. It's very turbulent, especially by the end of the sequence. It just goes very turbulent, very crazy. It looks like a glass, like liquids, like liquid glass. Not very similar to watercolor. Now when we rendered our ocean in Maya using Arnold, let's render our ocean in Houdini using Karma. So we go to the Oceans tab and click on the small ocean icon. It takes a while to create. So let's zoom out by pressing Alt and pressing the right button of the mouse. Okay. It's already animated. Okay, it's animated. So to render our ocean in Karma, we need to go up one level to the objects level. Okay. Just go up to the objects level and press tab and start typing loop and select loop network, lighting operator. Loop is the abbreviation. When we go inside, by clicking twice or just pressing enter, we don't see anything because we need to create render settings, camera, etc. First of all, we create camera, press tab and start typing camera. Now we have our camera here. So if we go up, for example, then we have only our view. When we go inside of the node, we can use our camera here. And of course we don't see anything. Then we create a dome light, press tab, start typing dome. and select dome light and connect our camera nodes to the dome light node, and we don't see anything yet. We need to create camera render settings. We press tab, start typing Karma and select Karma render settings. Karma render settings and connect our nodes. And still we don't see anything. Okay, also we need to create USD render rope. So press tab and start typing USD. Select USD render rope. That's our node for visualizing our rendering in the in-play or just saving to disk. And connect Karma render settings with the USD rope node. And still we don't see anything. Okay, so if we just select camera, we don't see anything. Also we need to create Houdini procedural node. We press tab, start typing Houdini procedural, Houdini procedural ocean. Select this node, Houdini procedural ocean. Okay, we don't see anything because we don't have spectrum file, we don't have geometry file, etc. First of all, let's save our scene and name our scene. Just name it Ocean in Karma rendered. Whatever. First of all, we need to specify our render geometry. So we click on this icon to select our geometry, and we go to Ocean Interior and we select Extrude Volume 1 and press Accept. And now we see something. Now we see our ocean, and still we don't see waves, we don't see any animation here. We need also to specify our spectrum file. Okay, so to specify our spectrum file, we need to reload geometry first of all, and then we need to go to Houdini procedural. Okay, so we select our spectrum file here, and here in Geo we need to see the file. So we need also to create another node and start typing Houdini. Press tab, start typing Houdini. Preview, select Preview Houdini procedural, and place this node between USD rope and Karma render settings. Okay, when we go to Houdini procedural, to Houdini Ocean procedural, we don't see our spectrum file. In order to see that file, we need to go up to the object level and then we need to go to the Ocean Service tab, go inside. When you go inside, we have our node Save Spectrum. We need to press that, select this node, and we need to press Save to Disk. Save to Disk. That creates our geo. That's our Ocean Spectrum here file. Where here we can change different settings like the parameters of our ocean. Then we go up again to the object level and go to the loop net. Let's see, let's just wait for a second. When we go to the spectrum file, we see our spectrum file card ocean and karma rendered spectrum. So we select this file and press accept. So press accept. And well, we see that all the warnings disappeared, but still we don't see our ocean properly. We need to reload geometry again. Okay, so when we select USD render rope, and when we try to render to mplay to see what we have, just wait for a while. So we don't see anything. Okay, let's just wait. Just rendering takes some time. So we don't see anything yet. Okay, so what else do we need? We need to go to our Karma Render Settings node. Go to Karma Render Settings here. In Karma Render Settings, we need to go to rendering. Oh, not rendering. We need to go to camera effects. Oh, not camera effects again. It's we need to go to geometry and shading node tab and select Dyson. Here we have Dyson camera. We need to tick our Dyson camera. Okay, just drag it. Here in Dyson camera, we need to specify our camera. It's camera 1. Camera 1. Okay, just press enter. Go out. So we have our camera. So what is Dyson? Dyson camera specifies a camera that is used for dicing complicated surfaces. This can provide consistent dicing of surfaces when the viewing camera is moving. So if we select our USD render rope again and try to render to mplay, so let's see what we have. We don't see anything here because we need to specify our camera. So let's again render to mplay. We don't see anything because our camera is inside of the ocean. That's because we don't see anything. So we need to select our camera, select the camera node, and here translate in Y, a little bit, maybe up a little bit. Let's move our camera up in the Y axis. Let's move it by 2 and press enter. And after that our camera is up, and now we can see our ocean. Let's just wait for a while. It should be rendered. So now, of course, our ocean doesn't have any texture, just gray ocean. So let's just try to render to see what we have. Let's render to mplay. Mplay is similar to Maya's Arnold render view. If you select our render view in Maya, it's our ocean here in mplay. That's mplay in Houdini, and that's Arnold view in Maya, very similar. We don't have any texture here, so we need to go to dome light. We go to dome light, and here in the dome light node, where we have the texture field, we might select our texture. So if you select, for example, by default we have HDRI image, HDRI folder by default. So we might specify, for example, like the first picture, the first HDRI image here, and press accept. So now we have our ocean texture. So if we render to mplay, let's see what we have. So we go here in mplay, and here again. So here we have, so we might move our camera again a little bit, move it like 3, and translate further in Z. Let's just translate in Z axis, for example 3. Maybe translate 2. So of course our settings here, it depends on, if you go up and go up to the ocean surface interior, to the ocean surface, if we go inside of the node, we might specify the grid size, the resolution, and all other parameters here. So if you go, for example, to the ocean spectrum, we might see, we can see time scale here. Let's just something like this, and go up and go to LoopNet, And here, let's just wait for a while. It should be rendered. So again, when we go to dome light, we might specify not the default image. By the way, the default image in Maya, when we render in Arnold, when we select our ocean, and when we create a sky dome light, it's just similar to dome light in Houdini. And here, when we just render, we don't see anything because it's just black and white. It's just gray because we don't have any texture here. So we might go to color to specify our image and select. Then we go to where we have the image name, just press the folder icon here. By default, we go to my computer, to the C drive, then we go to the program files and go to Autodesk, and then we go to our version of Maya 2025, for example, and then we go to presets, and then to assets, and here we have image-based lighting folder, IBL, and here we might select, for example, exterior color, and open this folder. Okay, and when we render, we have our ocean textured. We might turn off our camera. Let's just go to select sky dome light, attribute, and go to viewport, sky dome light. Let's see where it is. Display. Selection. Where is that? Sky dome light. Visibility. Sky dome light shape, visibility section. We just move our slider and make our camera invisible when we render. So we don't see any image here when we render. Okay, so that's by default in Maya. We will not use the image specified by default, so we might use our image, our file which we had. I took, for example, cloudy per sky. I used the image, Azure image, which I specified in the previous parts of this tutorial. So if you just select and open this, let's open in Photoshop. When we render our ocean here, again we select our USD render op and render to mplay. Also, while it's being rendered, let's go to Maya and select our sky dome light here and go to, so it's already rendered in Houdini. So this is the ocean we have. Of course it depends on the parameters. Okay, it depends on the camera position. We see but just the camera position is not very good here. So in Maya we might select also the same file. Okay, it's a Klufendal per sky. Okay, and open this file, and when we render, we have our ocean rendered here. But it's very bleak. When we go to Sky Dome Light, we have some sort of artifacts here, because it depends on the position of our camera, the camera view in our geometry. Of course it depends on the settings of our oceans. So if we go, for example, again to camera, let's rotate our camera. Let's rotate in Y 45 degrees, and then render out, render to and play again. We see our ocean, how it looks. So it looks without any artifacts. At least it's much better. Then to render this sequence, we need to render not the current frame, but a specific frame range from 1 to 240. We need to render to disk. So we press render to disk, and it starts rendering. Of course we will not wait, because it will take a long time, and after rendering I'll present the result, the rendered result. Okay, just rendering image. So it's rendering each frame one by one, and then we will see the result. It's frame number 1 and frame number 2, and here is the result of our rendering in Karma.